a falling star. When you make a wish, ooh, just remember luck is no such thing. While another man fades, why is it then you ask the stars up above, the planets of light, who controls your very soul? From the beginning of birth and throughout eternity, that's the stars up above.
Just ask them.
Ooh,
Just ask them.
the planets of light, who controls your very soul?
Coming to you live from New York City, you're watching Astrology Numerology now for Monday, March 9th, 2020. I'm your host, you already know. This is Z Starman, professional astrologer, numerologist, where every week at this time, we bring you the latest astrology news and information. We're counting down the last moments of Pisces season tonight on the show. We're going to be getting ready for the astrological New Year's, the sun in the sign of Aries. It's a lot of stuff that's going on. If you don't know from an astrology point of view, we're going to talk about the coronavirus from an astrology point of view, what it means. We got a big energy shift coming up in a couple of weeks or in the month of March, whereas Saturn, the planet of limitation and restriction, it's going to be back in the sign of Aquarius for the first time in almost 30 years. So we got Saturn in Aquarius, we got the numbers changing, we're closing out the astrological new year. So we're sort of kind of getting ready for 2020, spring equinox 2020. Now, my brand, my style of astrology is I just try to keep things simple. You know, some of my colleagues, they have different brands, but me, Z Starman, what I try to do with astrology and numerology is just make it simple, even for lay people to understand. Lay people meaning people who have hardly no interest or a little bit of interest in astrology, where it can be simple. That's Z Starman's brand. That's my brand of astrology and numerology also. I am here to make it easy for you to understand. Astrology and numerology is very easy to understand. You know, if you can count, if you can do simple math, that's numerology. And with astrology, all you have to do is know the difference between east, west, north, south. That's the three things, east, west, north, south, when it comes to my style and my brand of astrology, which is tropical astrology. I'm blessed to have a gift, whereas I can make people understand astrology basics, also to demystify astrology. There's a lot of hocus pocus and like, wow, this is going to bad, this is going to happen, and this is demonic. No, I'm demystifying astrology and numerology, so it'll make it easier for lay people like my friends in Brooklyn. What's up, Brooklyn? Brooklyn, this is Z Starman, and thank you for watching the show. We'll be having a new time in Brooklyn, but I forgot to say, this show, it's March 9th, 2020. We're live from New York. If you want to call the show and talk to me live, well, I'm just chilling tonight. I'm just chilling. I'm not, you know, it is what it is. All the things that we're fearing and happening and seeing in the world with the coronavirus. Just give me a call. It's about you. It's about you getting your astrological life in order, getting your numerology life in order, along with taking in the information of the things that I have to talk about from an astrology and from a numerology point of view. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. Virgo, holla at me. Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and we're closing out Pisces season on the night show. So Pisces, no matter where you're watching, if you're watching on the Lower East Side, Upper West Side, in my hometown, Harlem, if you're watching online on mnn.org, in St. Louis, Missouri, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Michigan, and we got some stuff to talk about. I got a guest coming on the show in a couple of weeks from Detroit, Michigan, but wherever you have the opportunity to call into this show right now, do it right now. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Talk to Z Starman. Now, up next, again, we're just, we're about to end the astrological new year. I want to say again, happy birthday to all the Pisces people. There's tons of Pisces people. And my dad was a Pisces. His birthday is March 11th. We can show him some Pisces stuff, control room. We can show, there's the astrological symbol for Pisces, two fish. And again, my father, he was a Pisces. My father, Robert Pinckney, the late, great Robert Pinckney, was a Pisces. So I want to give honor and tribute to my dad, who was a Pisces. His birthday is March 11th. He was a one-of-a-kind man, and he would have been 96 this year. I also want to shout out to some of my Pisces friends. Again, my great buddy Sharon French. Sharon, happy birthday. Happy Pisces season. Sharon is on March the 17th. I want to say happy birthday to a member of Sister Talk. Well, not a member, but she's been a guest on Sister Talk so many times. And she's a nice Pisces singer ass off. That's Douthinette Munlin. Douthie in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, Douthie, what's up, girl? Happy birthday. The Ides of March is getting ready to come upon us in Pisces season. That's what Pisces is about. Ides of March, the 15th of March, the middle of March, all this crazy drama is going on. The stock market lost 2,000 points today. Why? Because we had Venus conjunct Uranus over the weekend. We had Venus conjunct Uranus. Uranus is sudden changes. Venus is the money in the sign of Taurus. The money is monopoly money on Wall Street. It just had an 11-year bear run. Not bear, but excuse me, bull run. Bear is when they lose money, and the economy is getting ready to change. We had this Venus conjunct Uranus a couple of days ago, along with the Sun conjunct Neptune, and we got the coronavirus. I mean, that stuff is, we're going to talk about the coronavirus, but I want you to call the show. If you're watching live from anywhere in New York City, live on mnn.org, on MNN HD, channel 1993. Don't just look there, because I'm not going to be here in a couple of weeks, for a couple of weeks. But I will be back in 2 weeks, and when I come back in 2 weeks, I got something really special for everybody who's watching the show. Even if you're watching in Brooklyn, what I want everybody to do is to come down to my live television broadcast. We're going to have a numerologist on the show. So she's one of the top young numerologists on the planet. So I'm going to tell you more about that. But I got to get out this information. I got to give it out this information. And I want you to call the show, 212-757-1393. Now, we just went over the sun being in the sign of Pisces. We're saying goodbye to Pisces season. There's the fish, the two fish tied at the tail. So Pisces seasons end March the 19th. In some books, you always see March 20th, but on March 19th at 11:49 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, check the time zone that the start of spring is going to begin in. If you're in California, you're 3 hours behind New York. If you're in Hawaii, if you're in California, you're 3 hours behind New York. If you live in Hawaii, the time difference is 6 hours different. But spring starts simultaneously throughout the world, but at what time it happens in that particular time zone. So we're saying goodbye to Pisces, and we're getting ready to say hello to spring equinox 2020, again, March 19th. Can we show them that, please? The spring equinox, sort of kind of, this is like the astrological new year. We all have the calendar year, but this is the astrological year, and that's when the sun returns to the equator and rises northward. So things start getting warmer and hotter. There's more daylight time. There's more sunlight time we see in the universe now with the beginning of spring equinox. Now, the spring equinox, everybody, treat it just like, you know, I grew up in a Southern household, and they treated January 1st like, you know how they washed the house, washed everything, made New Year's resolutions during the beginning of the spring equinox. That's what we're coming towards, the beginning of the astrological new year. Treat it just like you would do January 1st. Some people would cook some black-eyed peas and collard greens. I'm on a green mission right now. I'm smoothieing and eating greens right now. So with this coronavirus and the coronavirus, we're going to talk about that. But I want you to call the show, 212-757-1393. Brooklyn. I know some people are watching in Brooklyn because we're on Verizon in Brooklyn. We're on Verizon in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, all over the city. Wherever you are, stop, take a moment, and call into the show and get some astrology, numerology information. We live in 2020, the age of astrology now. There's nothing to be afraid of. We need to look to alternative methods and means of understanding the world, the universe, and ourselves as it relates to astrology and numerology. 212-757-1393. Again, spring is about the start of that astrological new year. All the thing is now it's a great time with the start of the astrological new year is to sort of kind of restart, re-jump your January 1st New Year's resolutions. I always say January 1st New Year's resolutions always fail. They always fail because for most of us, especially New Yorkers like myself, or you're living in the northern hemisphere, it's cold and you can't go to the gym and you can't run and you can't save money and you can't stop smoking, this, that, and the other. Now with the start of the astrological new year, it's again a time to restart, re-jump your New Year's resolutions, especially if you're Aries, especially if you're any of the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. This is the fire season that's coming down the line. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. You're watching Astrology Numerology now. I'm Z Starman. And with the beginning of the spring equinox, we also have the beginning of the Aries season. So Aries season, there's the astrological symbol for Aries. Aries the ram. Aries is ruled by the planet Mars. That's what Aries is ruled by. It's ruled by the planet Mars. And it's the start, once again, I can't stress this enough. It is the start of the astrological new year. New Year's resolutions, make them. Vibrate on a higher frequency, make it happen. Forget the past, let out the old, forgive people. That's what this astrological new year means. It's time to vibrate on a higher frequency. This is the universe giving you a second chance. You've made it through the astrological new year, starting last spring or starting in the spring equinox level. The whole planet needs to vibrate at this time, no matter what sign you are, especially Capricorn people, or if you have Capricorn rising sign. The universe is providing you an opportunity, although it's some tough love and tough medicine with all these planets in the sign of Capricorn. We all must evolve right through here. The portal or window of opportunity will be open and closing shortly. It's opening, but it will be closing once Mercury comes out of the shadow of its retrograde. Let's show them Mercury retrograde, control room. Mercury or retrograde. As we know, this is March 9th, and what's that? Frank is walking down. Frank, you distracted me, man. That's a Frank. Frank is the eminent crew member or producer, but he's distracted me.
Sorry.
That's all right. But retrograde. Retrograde. What is retrograde? Now, again, Mercury just went direct on March 9th today. Now, Mercury has to come out of the shadow of its retrograde or get back to the place where its retrograde began. See, Mercury retrograde is an 8-week period. People think on March 9th today, because we're televised live from New York City, that is the end of Mercury retrograde season. No, we still have to, well, Mercury has sort of kind of been spinning backwards. The stock market has been spinning backwards in the sign of Aquarius right now. So the stock market is spinning backwards. The coronavirus is out of control. By the way, we're going to talk about the coronavirus. Coronavirus is ruled by the sign of Aquarius because Aquarius is the people. It's the people. Aquarius rules the bloodstream. The whole blood. Blood touches every part of our fiber, and that is ruled by the sign of Aquarius. But we're going to talk about that. But Mercury has to come out of the shadow of its retrograde. Let's show them retrograde one more time, control room. Retrograde. Remember, I know people used to say, well, happy Mercury direct day. There's nothing happy about it. Yeah, it stopped moving, but we're in retrograde mode. The 2-week period between the time Mercury went direct to the time it comes back to the place where its retrograde began. Mercury direct means nothing. It has to come out of the shadow of its retrograde. And just like all planets retrograde, they have to come back to where the retrograde began. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Don't call, because I want you to listen. I want you to listen. A lot of you think this is hocus pocus and magic and voodoo and stuff like that. The world has gotten big. It's 2020 as we approach spring equinox 2020. The world is used. There are so many people from when I started studying and practicing astrology about 40 years ago. The world has changed. I mean, your common next door neighbor, your postman, your beautician or loctician, whoever. People know more about astrology and numerology in 2020 than it did 40 years when I started about 1980 or something like that. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. You don't have to call. I want you to listen to what I have to say. Okay, for the remainder of March from a numerology point of view is a number 7 universal month. Why is it a number 7 universal month? What's the vibration of the number 7? In the Pythagorean numerology system, we're on a scale of 1 through 9. And then we have the master numbers 11, 22, and 33. But the 7 is spiritual energy. It's sort of kind of like that staircase to heaven, how 7 is shaped from, you go from the bottom to the top and then you go to the side, or you can go either direction. But the 7 for the month of March, it's about reflection. And a lot of people are going to start reflecting when they look at their stock market portfolios. All the crashes. I mean, this is of historic proportions. And again, that was Venus in Taurus making a conjunction to Uranus over the weekend. The fallout still happens. It happens this day and that's it. Venus is still within orbs or degrees of Uranus, so more fallouts are getting ready to happen. But again, this is a number 7 universal month. Everybody pray. Everybody pray for the planet Earth right now. I'm going to pray. Divine Father, infinite endlessness, please heal the planet Earth. Please heal our politicians. Please heal our religious leaders. Please save and protect the children. This is what we need to do, planet Earth. Why do you think the universe has got the coronavirus for us Earthlings right now? Because of the planetary shift. Watch how the planets are moving, shifting, turning. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. This is your last chance to talk to me before we sign off the air. 212-757-1393 is the number to call. Now, again, number 7 is a number, March is a number 7 month. So remain in prayer, vibrate at a higher frequency to get us through the whole planet, through the crises it's about to go through before the end of March. And talking about numerology, a lot of people say I don't have a numerologist, I don't talk numerology enough, but in 2 weeks, on Monday, March 23rd, we're going to be talking numerology. When we have a special visitor come to Astrology Numerology Now, and that's Kaya French. Kaya French will be here in studio. A little bit about Kaya French. Kaya French is a protege of the great Lloyd Strayhorn. And this girl knows her stuff. She'll be joining me it'll be a spring equinox celebration 2 weeks from today. Come down, watch the show in the live studio audience, and we're going to be doing some nice things after the live show. That's this Monday, March, or 2 weeks from today. March 23rd, be a part of our studio audience to welcome in Spring Equinox 2020 and Women's History Month. And we'll be featuring Kaya French coming in from Detroit. Again, she's a protege of the great Lloyd Strayhorn, and you're going to love her appearance on the show. So visit facebook.com/ go to the show's TV page, Astrology Numerology Now on Facebook, and you'll find more information. I'll be setting up a Facebook Eventbrite post, whereas you can sign in and come down to the studio. I'm pretty sure this place is going to be packed with Lloyd Strayhorn and his protege, Kaya French. Now, we got a couple more minutes to go. We've got about 7 more minutes to go in the show, and just trying to get all this information out to everybody who's watching. Now, again, the coronavirus. What is the coronavirus from an astrology point of view? The coronavirus, COVID, this is deep how you analyze things with astrology and numerology. You know, how do they get that name? The coronavirus, the professional name is COVID, thank you, Stanley, is COVID-19. Co for corona, V, I for virus, and the date it was first discovered, sort of, kinda, or came to public knowledge was in 2019. But the World Health Organization started calling it the coronavirus first. On February 11th, 2020. So it's an Aquarius thing. Aquarius, again, in astrology, rules the people. And people from all over the planet are talking about the coronavirus, or COVID-19. It's ruled by the sign of Aquarius, Stanley. Stanley Mitchell is my main man here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, and he's our engineer, audio engineer. So Aquarius, it's everywhere. Be careful out there, everybody. Please be careful out there. We got 4 planets in Capricorn. Caller, I want you to stay on the line, keep listening, and I'm going to take your call after the show. We're running out of time. Why you didn't call earlier? But you called now, and that's very important. We got about 3 minutes left in the show. But we have, for Capricorn people, we have 4 planets in the sign of Capricorn until March 21st. It's 4 planets. Government's about to fall. Now, check this out. China is ruled by the sign of Capricorn. China, where the virus originally emanated in Wuhan, China. Wuhan is like a state, like United States have different states. Wuhan is the state. And But we got these planets in the sign of Capricorn that are sort of kind of taking China down. Caller, stay on the line. Do not hang up. I'm going to take your call after the show. So astrologically, we got all this activity in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn rules the government of China. It's ruled by Capricorn. Look it up. Now, we're running out of time. But Venus is now in the sign of Aquarius. There is some light on the horizon. Venus is in the sign of Aquarius, Venus is in the sign of Taurus until April 3rd. Venus rules Taurus. Taurus, or Venus, is finally back home after the journey around the zodiac. She's finally back home. So this is a great time, except those in the stock market, because Venus just made a conjunction to Uranus. Venus is in the sign of Taurus. She's back home. Wherever you have Taurus in your chart, this is very helpful. If you want to know, call me after the show. Next, Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius. I love this. I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturn to come back to the sign of Aquarius on March 21st at 11:59 p.m. Saturn is exalted, meaning it works best in the sign of Aquarius. Sign of Aquarius. Saturn returns to the sign of Aquarius on March 21st. And once again, I want everybody to come out on March the 23rd, 2 weeks from this Monday, March 23rd, and meet and greet Kaya French, numerologist Kaya French. Let's show her a picture real quick. We got a minute left in the show. Caller, if you're still there, I want you to hang on, and we're going to pick up your call. Monday, March 23rd, a week. If you're watching this on the 16th, next week, or whenever you're watching, Brooklyn, wherever you are, come to Manhattan Neighborhood Network, meet and greet Kaya French, one of an extraordinary numerologist. Again, she's a protege of Lloyd Strayhorn. Lloyd Strayhorn will be in the studio 2 weeks from today. Come on down to Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Visit my Facebook page for more information. Thank you, Deetra. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, Josie Ann, for being a great caller. Hold on. If you want to talk to me, here's my number. I want to wish you peace, love, light. Namaste. Happy spring. Happy New Year.
Get Aries to be very, very ambitious. Libra, the cheerful and merry one.
Pisces, you fish. You are a romantic, constantly striving to escape from reality into the blessed land.